Well, thank you so much for joining this live. I'm gonna get ready on TikTok as well. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, so just hang on. Okay, so hopefully, those of you who uh, watch this live from TikTok will be able to hear me better. I think that audio is ready. And then thank you so much for joining this TikTok. So February 20th, 5 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for joining from TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Still working on Instagram. TikTok's not allowing me to do the live through the web browser. So I reverted, back to what I do. So, so once again, thank you so much for joining. Today's topic is marriage green card case. Sorry that I didn't, just tell you that, about this. Sorry, I'm just a little bit babbling here. But I do it every Thursday, whether I, run this like preview or not. So every Thursday 5 p.m. unless I'm out of town, then I will be hosting this live every Thursday 5 p.m. Central Time. So once again, I'm Attorney Jae Francis. We're gonna talk about marriage green card case mostly, and then also adjustment of the status. If you have any other the questions, if I have time, I will be able to answer as well. So thank you so much for the gifts coming from TikTok. Many of you are just joining. And then I'm gonna figure out whether I can use a web browser to host the TikTok live instead of iPad, so then I can add Instagram as well. Now, Archida, our usual K1 viewer, right? File 129F, and then with the California Service Center in November, and I hope that her case is approved soon. But since she's the one that who say hello for the first time today, I don't want to scare Archida and other viewers, but we have updates that U.S. embassies and consular posts will lay off employees. Right, they're federal government, just like any other department, right? And then because of the Elon Musk, Dodge department, and then President Trump's directive, they're laying off or letting go many federal employees. So embassy and consular posts are not exempt from this layoff, mass layoff. So so what does it mean? It means that there will be potentially delays with the case processing. Delays with the case processing. So then the question is, will USCIS, Healing Virgo, say hello. Thank you so much for joining. Will USCIS lay off their staff members? Possibility, but unlike other federal agencies, USCIS is called fee based. Remember, you need to pay USCIS filing fee, right? So if you have a marriage green card case, you pay 2,375 without 131 advance parole. I'm gonna talk about in advance parole today. So because the USCIS operates based upon fee payment by you, right, applicants and petitioners, potentially they may not have mass layoff. But Department of State, which controls, governs consular interview, they're not exempt from mass layoff. So, and then we have a kind of similar situation during the height of COVID, not because of the Trump, but because of COVID. Embassy shut down, right? Because they refused to schedule any appointments other than emergency appointments. That caused massive delay. So let's talk about the K1 as an example, right? Prior to COVID, K1 processing time was a 6 month, and then because of the COVID, embassy were not meeting new scheduling interview. It took more than 18 months and then up to 2 years. Obviously, circling back to Archida's case, major delay happens with the USCIS, not just embassy. So, California Service Center, which handled, K1 129F petition, was very notorious in terms of slowdown. Obviously, USCIS slowed down, and then many of them ended up working from home. So that's why. But so then after COVID, sort of like a threats, gone, then back to 6 months, and I hope that this continues. But I'll keep you posted. So having said that, we're gonna see whether anyone asks question here. Okay, so those of you who's joining Stargate, say hello. My live stream for the first time, I look at two different devices, right? So then I'm looking at right side YouTube, and then left side is like a TikTok, and hopefully I can add Instagram. So usually I read the questions, and then I get a lot more questions from TikTok viewers than YouTube. So we're gonna start with this. Okay, Diana Sanchez asked the question. My husband has street crime convictions. And then she said it has been cleared. So I don't know what you meant by street crime convictions. And then you need to tell us a little bit more. So situation like yours, and then she wondered whether her husband may petition for her. Now, the U.S. citizen are able to petition despite criminal records, unless they have like Adam Walsh Act conviction. It means that sexual criminal activities toward the minor. So as long as they don't have it, then they will be able to file petition for you. So my answer is, Diana. Answer is yes. If your husband is U.S. citizen, then he may petition for you. If your spouse is a permanent resident, then still may petition for you. But under Trump, then maybe you're putting his permanent residency a little bit into jeopardy, because when you submit the case, then USCIS will review not only foreign applicants' case, but the U.S. citizen petitioner's case as well. So if you need help with an attorney, just let us know. Just find me on my profile, Dr. Jae Francis Immigration. You can find the phone number, and then click or the scheduler as well. Now, Sonic, Sonic Casher. I'm probably not pronouncing your name correctly. By the way, our cat, Scottish Fold Rosie, is sleeping right next to me. Sometimes she wakes up and then she meow me, but she's sleeping. She's on the sleeping mode at this point. Okay, so then Sonic asks how to file tax return with my spouse, because Sonic doesn't have a social and IT number. And then even though you're married, unfortunately, you're not able to file tax return together, because basically there's two requirements to file tax return together. Number one, you're married. So it looks like you're married in 2024, but you don't have an IT number or social. That's the second requirement. You need an IT number or social number to file tax return together. So sorry, but you know, if you file your AUS package 45 application, then you're gonna get a social number, and then you can address that later. Okay, Miguel Angel asked the question. This is consular process question. How long K1? What is K1 processing time? Still, I would say 6 months. 6 months, but it's subject to change, because I explained that there could be mass layoff even with the USCIS, and for sure with the Department of State. So with these limited numbers of staff reviewing cases and the scheduling interview, remember that unlike adjustment of the status, all consular process cases, right, K1, CR1, and then IR5 parent cases, they must schedule the interview. So it's going to take a little bit longer. Tedewanu asked the question. There's a lot of YouTube videos about green card holders denied entry. So let's talk about this, right? If you're permanent resident, whether you're conditional or you're permanent resident, 2 years and 10 years, and then when you go overseas, you're putting your immigration status at risk under Trump because of many different reasons. Number one, if you have a serious criminal records and then somehow you apply for adjustment of the status under Obama or Biden, and then they say it's okay, but even if they approve your case, when you try to enter the US, CBP will review your deportability issue. It means that if you have a DUI, that's a deportable crime. Your entry could be denied. So number one, number two, especially with a conditional residence, it means that you have a 2 year conditional residence. If you go overseas alone without your U.S. citizen spouse and then try to come back alone, they say that they may they may accuse you that you don't have a bona fide good relationship with your spouse. So they're gonna call your spouse and then all this. So entry could be denied, yes, even if you're permanent resident. So with that, if you have a really good case, if you're eligible, you should apply for naturalization to become a U.S. citizen, right? If you're married to a U.S. citizen, still married and live together, you can apply within 3 years of becoming a permanent resident. And then those of you who still have a 751 petition pending, you may still add your N400. Why? Because you can compel USCIS to review your 751 faster. Because as you know, 751 petition to remove the condition right now takes about 18 and more months. So, but if you file N400 timely, then you're gonna compel USCIS to review both cases. But if you obtain your permanent residency otherwise, you need to wait 5 years. So there's two groups of people who may apply for naturalization 3 years. Number one, you got married to a U.S. citizen, you're still living together, and then you're still married 3 years. Number two, if you obtain your permanent residency through VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act, then 3 years. 3 years. Okay, so then also the speaking of CR6 interview, um, I don't think the mandatory interview has returned yet. It means that under Trump, all cases, just some of the status cases scheduled for interview, it hasn't returned yet. So we have one of the case scheduled for interview in California today, a marriage green card case, and then hope that it goes well and then get approval. So I'm not gonna mention their name, but I wish the best to my clients who's gonna attend the interview. Actually, they're attending interview now because they're West Coast. So I'm in Chicago, 5 p.m. right, and then they're a little bit earlier, so 3 p.m. So maybe it's done or still attending. I'll keep you posted. Okay, so NDE, my spouse and I filed I-130 in December 2024, and then NDE is a U.S. citizen, but why did you file I-130 only? Perhaps your spouse. You said your spouse and I file I-130 together. It means that your spouse may be in the U.S. Maybe not. Maybe your spouse overseas, so it's a CI-1 spouse visa, or your spouse, may have a pending removal proceeding, and then or your spouse enter without inspection and has unlawful presence, so you need a waiver. And then according to this person, USCIS processing time for I-130 say 24 months. I don't know. I don't really follow the website. I would say best case scenario depends on types of I-130, 1 year, but between 1 year and 18 months. But 24 months is not too far off. But that's like a little bit too slow. Okay. Oh, I have a lot of questions. And then just give me 1 second here. Yeah, those what is I-130 current processing time? I say it's between 1 year and 18 months. But it really depends on whether you have a CR1 spouse visa or 601A base I-130, or whether you have a removal proceeding. Out of all this, if you file I-130 only with the removal proceeding, pending removal proceeding, that takes longest. That takes longest. And then the faster version would be CR1 version, right? Your spouse overseas. Okay, so then Gladysol Smith from YouTube asked the question. So probably your F1 student visa holder, and then asking whether it's a good idea to apply for F1 OPT. It looks like you're graduating in May. Congratulations. You know that within 90 days of completing your education, or within 90 days, after 90 days, you're able to apply for F1 OPT, or adjust your status through the marriage. And then looks like your future spouse is U.S. citizen, because you don't live together, because you're going to graduate school, and then your future spouse may be going to school or working. Uh, Contact us, okay? Because I have a TikTok users, I'm not able to tell you the phone number, but you're joining from YouTube. You see my phone number. Call us. We would be happy to do case evaluation. But I will tell you this: you may apply for F1 OPT now, right? So you're within 90 days anyway, right? You're graduating May, and then you're within 90 days. Submit your F1 OPT 765 now. Obviously, it's not free. You need to pay, but then you can apply for marriage green card case. And then if I were you, I will include another 765 with your marriage green card case as well. So just in case. I mean, you know the difference, right? F1 OPT must be related to your area of study. And then it's called C9 category, marriage-based green card EAD. You can work at Target if you want, right? It means that any place. But thank you so much for asking question. So we're back to TikTok. I think that I'm a little bit behind and skip quite a bit. Uh, okay. So Diana Sanchez say thank you. Thank you so much for joining this. And then I do this every Thursday. So hope to see you again. Yeah, Miguel Angel, you submitted K1 visa application this month. Okay, so it looks like you believe that you have a strong, straightforward K1, and then I believe that your case assigned to California Service Center. So the question is how long it'll takes. Potentially 6 months from the beginning to the end. But what I'm gonna do is that if I notice any different processing time, but I need more than one case, I need at least 3 cases, then I'm gonna make TikTok, YouTube video to share updated processing time. Because you know what, processing time is important, because in many cases you're not together. You're not together. The speaking of marriage green card case updates, the Republicans who control both chambers, right, House of Representative and U.S. Senate, is proposing a new bill to cancel 540 automatic extension of EAD. You probably know that when you apply for extension during this validity period, then you get 540 extension, except DACA and some other cases. But they're trying to end that with the congressional act. Why? Because unless the Congress acts on it, it needs to be with the USCIS, and then it takes some time. So they like to do it fast. And then if both chambers sign, then it'll go to Trump, and then he will cancel that. Also, 5-year EAD may be gone. So we have a user from TikTok, sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry that I don't know how to read your name, but okay. So this viewer, um, I-130 approved, and then spouse, husband is permanent resident. So this is F2A case approved, and withdraw asylum application, and then also on TPS. Um, well, obviously, you're asking two questions. Number one, right? I guess your priority date is current, right? And then your case, you need to call us and we'll do free case evaluation because it's the timing of application for asylum, how you enter, whether you have any unlawful presence and unlawful employment in the US is really important. But looks like you apply for asylum within 1 year and then hop onto TPS and I-130. So maybe yes, but the key point is this, right? Unless your spouse become a US citizen, if you have any unlawful presence and unlawful employment, it will not be forgiven. And number two, I tell this all the time, even though you have a marriage-based green card case option, you should not withdraw your asylum application. You let USCIS ask you whether you like to withdraw it later because you need to be careful because if you withdraw your asylum application, USCIS may accuse you of filing fraudulent or frivolous asylum application when you go for interview for marriage base. And then you say yes, current, that's good, okay, yes, good. So you may apply, but if you, I think that, well, let's be honest, right? With the Trump presidency, you should work with the immigration attorney. I would be happy to work for you. If you like to work with a different attorney, be my guest, but just don't do it yourself. You have a lot of fact patterns, make your case complicated, right? You withdraw your application, asylum application, and then you're on TPS. Your spouse is permanent resident. Call us. Now, Francis Opuku from YouTube asked a question about the 90-day rule, right? So let's do this. Um, before Trump, when before Trump, the first term, when foreign person entered the U.S., right, they need to wait 60 days to get married and apply for green card. And Trump raised up to 90 days. Biden eliminated, but as of today, we don't have any rule when it comes to USCIS. So, but still, for our cases, we say 90 days. You need to wait 90 days to be safe because at like very soon, USCIS will bring back 90-day rule. So just it's good to be careful. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to TikTok. Okay. Okay, Saba. Okay, you ask very interesting question. Is USCIS still processing K1 visa? Absolutely yes. Absolutely. Where did you get this like impression that K1 visa is gone? Although Trump talking about canceling, removing all these options, but he didn't really say anything about eliminating K1. I don't think that is going to happen. But yes, answer is yes. USCIS still process K1. Thank you for asking. Okay, well, some one of the users said that God bless Trump. We need to bless everyone because we love each other, right? So we're good human beings. So um, I second that to you, right? God bless Trump and God bless all of you who watch this. Although not everyone has a religion, I'm a Roman Catholic, and then I believe that everyone should be blessed and has been blessed. So thank you for your comment. Okay, I'm just reviewing this. Um, Travel story probably asked the question previously. I missed that. You have question about something affecting your interview. I'm not sure. I'm gonna switch back to this. Um, okay, I'm gonna just review TikTok as well. Um, Sorry, I'm just reviewing this. Okay. I love this question. Life of Geo asks question of the day. Okay. So her question is this. Many people say this. Okay. Many people assume that cases filed under Biden, right, before January 20th. Many people believe that their cases review under Biden's processing procedure, not by the Trump. Well, I'm not USCIS. I'm not consular post. But my answer is not really. So I made like videos. We have some cases filed in July and August. If you follow me back then, our fast track cases approved less than 2 months. They were good cases, really good cases. Others waited as much, but still 6 months. So their cases approved under Trump. And then when I say that, well, Trump's administration, as of today, didn't really change what they review. So your assumption is partially correct. They're still applying for Biden's procedure, not because of the time of filing, because the Trump's administration, USCIS, didn't introduce any major changes to legal immigration cases, like marriage, green card case. This is why I'm telling you, you need to apply now before it becomes too late, before it becomes more complicated later. But circling back, so some viewers say that, well, I mean, you filed your case, Biden's, and they're applying Biden's rule. Partially correct, but the key takeaway is that right now, as of today, Trump's immigration is not applying new rule to legal immigration cases like K1, CR1, and then marriage green card case, CR6. So apply now. Okay. Yes. Baobab asked what really happened a lot under Trump's first term. So then this is his question. So his friend entered the US with a visa. And then the CBP, who controls US entry and departure, um, send him a text message that don't forget, right? You're given 6 months or so, you must depart the United States. Now, is your friend, girlfriend, or boyfriend? If this is in relationship, call us, because one of you asked question about the 90 days. You need to be careful. But we would be happy to help you with your potential marriage green card case. So under Trump's second term, those of you who enter with the ESTA or visa, you're gonna get reminders that, hey, make sure that you leave the United States. Okay. So it has been a little bit challenging because I was unable to add Instagram. Instagram is giving me a hard time. And then I'm going to do my best to get it ready. Now, and also because of Trump, we're like super, hectic, but we're going to do our best to get back to you when you call us and then email us and send us a message, and then we're gonna try to offer case evaluation for you. Now the next week, I'm gonna do another multi-stream. I hope that each time is better. I hope to focus on the topic, but today is kind of unique that I got a lot of consular process questions, and then I think that I spent about half AUS and have consular process. So the next week, I'm gonna talk about consular process cases, but welcome to join if you have AOS cases, because we don't know whether there will be additional changes happening between now and next week. Under Trump, a week feels like a year because every other day he signs executive order. So to preview what I'm gonna talk next week, he signed this executive order this month, said that they're going to change how they process consular process cases, K1, CR1, right? And then IR5. And on top of that, remember that there will be mass layoff with the embassy staff. So when Trump signed executive order, people working for him, they have a plan. It's not like they never thought about this. So they're going to introduce. So we're going to see whether they're going to bring back Muslim travel ban, or Chinese Communist Party travel ban, or any other travel ban. There's also speculation that the B2, B1 tourist visa renewal validity period could be reduced to 1 year. So we'll see. So until then, peace be with you. Thank you so much for joining this live. I'm gonna see you next week, 5 p.m. live. But you can find me on TikTok, uh, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, our website. I'm Dr. Jae Francis. Peace be with you.